mean, like, it's been my life, like, 4 years. Like, on one hand, I'm like, yeah, he doesn't. Like, he's not the biggest on defense, but he's such a high production on offense that it's like, I don't really care. He does enough. His steals are pretty solid. Like, he forces enough turnovers to be an impact. But, like, if you're going to have him play defense at detriment to his offense, like, are you really getting anything out of it, you know?
So you think it's like a budgeting thing? Like a energy budget? Like consciously?
This season his conditioning's been better, but historically, like, he's somewhat injury prone. And, like, his knee always gives him problems. So, like, I would rather him load manage, like, in the game, right, than be trying to stretch himself out for defense. Like, I don't know. It's a valid critique, but I don't know if it's enough to really, like, take him down the peg that people think it is when he's dropping triple doubles like it's nothing and averaging, like, 35 points a game. Like, I just don't think it is. Like, just put him on the right person so that he's not at a mismatch and they're not running offense through him, and then it should be a lot better. But I don't think it's as bad as people say. It's the same thing, like, everybody's like, oh, he's fat, he's a condition, and it's like, sure, but I don't feel like anybody ever says that about Jokic. So, like, it just feels like such a, like, random argument. Like,
yeah.
A lot of his game was how big he was for how he could push people off to get the step back. And, like, when he lost weight this season, his shooting splits went down for a bit until he got used to it. So, like, that's not to say it's good or bad, but it's just, like, that was part of his game, was being at that weight. I don't think it's enough to be like, yeah, he doesn't try. It's like, bro,
that would be
he's
so
dropping
nice.
40. Like, what are you talking about? He doesn't try
sometimes. Yeah. Dude, yeah. That's what's interesting to me is, like, because I watch and I'm like, why can't we play any defense, man? They're making it so easy for this other team. And then it was like the game last week when Luka actually got a couple steals, a couple breakups, and he's doing some good things on defense. But then after, you know how, like, when Austin Reeves is talking to somebody after the game, Luka always comes up and says something. Yeah.
I like the relationship.
I think it's hilarious. But Luka was like, it's because I was playing great defense. And he's like yells that out at somebody. I was like, I didn't see that game, but that's a funny ass comment.
Yeah, like, I've always been of the opinion with Luka, like, as long as you can get serviceable defense out of him, it's fine. Like, he's not a two-way player. He's just not going to be. He's, like, a hyper-offensive player, and trying to expect him to play two-way is just his defense isn't going to be as good as, like, an actual two-way player, and you're just going to lose out on his offense, which is the whole reason you're playing him. You're going to get points out of him, obviously, but, like, it's going to impact it. So, like, as long as he's funneling the ball, like, the right way, and he's, you know, maybe getting a couple steals here, like, doing what he can, I think that's all you can ask from him. Like, when we had him in Dallas, the whole way we played defense was funnel them to the lane, where we had Gafford and Lively, our centers, just constantly rotating. Like, funnel them in. Like, if they think they can beat Luke on a fast break, funnel them to the centers, and then that's it. But you just don't have a great center right now to do that. So, like, because you stay at the line, Luke is fine, right? He doesn't have to move that much to block a three. But if he's having to chase people through pick and rolls, and if they can fast break him and you don't have a center there, then it's like, yeah, he looks not as good.
Yeah.
You gotta build around him. But
hopefully we can do the smartest thing each game in the playoffs here.
Yeah, I'm right now I'm wondering where you guys find the center. I'm sure somebody's gotta have something to trade. Maybe you get a war, like a small war trade with LeBron or something, do a three-way trade.
You just have no faith in Aiden.
In who?
DeAndre.
I like him as a person.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. His stats just kind of show it. Like, there are games where he does fine. And if he played that way for every game, then it would be okay. Still not the best center you could have, but it's fine. But he doesn't play that. There's some games where it's like he's literally not there. Like 3 rebounds in 4 quarters. I think I saw that in like 2 or 3 games now. It's like, brother, come on now. What are we doing? And he doesn't put up any points practically in most games. So it's like, you know, that's fine if he's doing the role of the center, getting rebounds, you know, boxing out, playing defense, setting picks. But he does. He does like a little bit of everything, but not enough of each thing. So I'm not convinced on him. That's how people were with him before he got traded on his last team. Like, he's just okay.
We'll see, man. If we can get a different
the
center.
joke is, I think that if we keep Coop and get, we're keeping Coop, but I think if we get like a pretty good pick this year on Mavs, we probably trade away our older players, which would include Gafford. And I think Lakers would eat that up in a second. Gafford's a good center. He's not phenomenal because he's been a little injury prone lately, but like he's solid, and he's played with Luka for years, so he's got rapport there.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's 7-footer. He's good at picking up rebounds and dunking. He's like I hate saying this, but he's kind of like a budget AD. So like he has more games played and like does a similar thing, just not as good as AD does, but he's still pretty solid. Yeah. He plays his role.
Well, AD's thing was always like,
it's never been his play.
The freaking potential there.
Yeah, it's never been his play. It's just the amount of time on the court.
Yeah. Well, and like some of the times, I mean, when he would like in the playoffs, he would seem like he showed up and was like, that's who he is. That's AD right there. And then the next game, it's like, where did he go, bro?
I mean, the joke, I stand by this statement, but like, he's the best center Coop's ever going to play with in his career, and it's not even close. Like, I mean, if he played every game or like enough of it, he's worth his price tag. Like, he would actually, I still don't think it's a good trade, but he would have at least been worth his price tag, and it would have been fine, and you could have built around him and Coop. But he just doesn't play every game. He's just injury prone, and you only get him for like 50% of the season if you're lucky. And it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, it is, dude.
Like, I don't think I've seen another player as bad with injuries besides like Embiid and Zion, pretty much.
Yeah, Zion.
Zion is so sad, man.
Yeah, I know, man.
He's like the fastest player to 3,000 points in terms of games played, but the slowest in terms of the amount of years, which is crazy. Because he just plays so few games every year, but he scores really well in the few he does. So he hit 3,000 points faster than them, but it took him like 7 years. Whereas everybody else did it in like 2 seasons.
He was like the classic shiny object that you just like the impulse buy. You're like, oh my God, we gotta. Yeah.
I mean, coming out of school, he was.
That's what I'm saying.
There. It's just he didn't treat it. He did like the Shaq philosophy of like, I'm not going to care about my conditioning and like, I'm not going to care about my health, and I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. It doesn't work.
Because look at me, look at this highlight.
He signed to Supermax. Like, that's all he cares about anymore.
Yeah, it's nice work if you can get it.
But yeah, I'm curious. I think there's going to be some good shakeups coming in this next year. Like, Butler's gone. I'm confident Butler's retiring after the ACL. And then Giannis looks like he wants to get traded. This draft class is really crazy. They just put out that feeler article on possible expansion back to Seattle or Las Vegas, which means they're going to do like a player draft for a new team, which will be interesting. So I don't know when that's going to happen or if it is, but
yeah,
put out the feelers on it.
That'd be crazy if there was a Sonics again, man.
That's what they're joking about, is if they bring back Seattle, it has to be the Supersonics.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that they haven't done another expansion of Seattle again. And like OKC, it kind of makes sense just because they don't have any other sports teams there. Like really outside of like college football. So like a lot of people pay money for it, and they're doing really good right now, right?
Yeah.
But like Seattle's huge. Like it's got to be a decent market there.
It's got to be. Yeah.
I get that they got rid of it at that time. I was shocked that they didn't bring it back. It's been like 10 years.
What were they just dreadful for like 10 years before they?
They were only okay, and then the owner didn't want to deal with it anymore, so he sold the team, and the person who wanted to buy it was in OKC.
Kind of a.
So they just moved the team.
Kind of a stadium type of thing. Like, are you going to get a new barn?
I just think it was because like luxury tax was on the horizon, and like they just didn't want to keep paying for it. I forget who the owner was, but they moved it to OKC.
That's so wild, man. Hopefully it's just, more of a normal thing now that's not so freaking heartbreaking like it was like when certain teams moved, like back in the 90s when the freaking Browns left Cleveland. I mean, people were like, what the hell do I do?
I mean, look, the Pelicans were the Hornets before, and then they were the Jazz before that. Like, not long ago.
Oh my God.
They've rebranded 3 times in that city.
That's right.
So, like,
the freaking Jazz.
I mean, at least they kept their team, but like,
Yeah.